beautiful eyes whenever you feel ready. Makes you feel best right now. Lovingly closing your beautiful eyes whenever you feel ready. And tuning into your own awareness of your breath and body. Inviting the breath to flow freely through you. And inviting the body to relax as it does. Saying to yourself in this moment, "Dear self, I have nothing else for you to do right now, except to simply be here. This is our time together to relax, to be still, to feel a sense of oneness and presence. You feel yourself inviting all of your awareness into this moment. Feeling lighter and freer with every relaxed breath. There's nothing you need to do right now. All is well in this moment. And as you get that gentle sense of all being well, you begin to envision before you lies a wide open space of some kind, bridged by a rainbow. From this angle, it almost looks as if it is glowing from the inside, radiating light outward like a neon sign. And your feet feel so called to be on that bridge right now. With a playful innocence in your heart, you see yourself heading towards the bridge. Perhaps you see your feet as barefoot as you step on the bridge. Trust how your imagination sees this, and either way, sense the energy. Making your way to the very center of the bridge. Take a look above you. What is the sky like right now? As you feel yourself in the center of this bridge of light, a vortex begins to open up at your feet, wrapping up your entire body from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. Rotating all around you, cleansing and clearing away any energetic debris, allowing you to be lighter, freer, more present and in this moment. And as you breathe and relax into this, that vortex of light begins to dissipate. And you feel your connection to the bridge again. This time, feeling even more strongly synced up with this energy. You are being guided to a new chapter in your life. The time is now to cross over into that threshold. Let the idea of crossing over into this threshold feel like just simply taking another breath. And what's interesting is that when you feel ready to cross over this bridge completely, you suddenly grow wings out of your back. Let yourself see what size and shape and color they are right now. And you feel them lifting you up off of this rainbow. And you begin to fly freely. Flying as high as you'd like to imagine. Letting your subconscious know that the idea of getting from one place to another can be much more freer now. Let yourself identify a celestial body, whatever comes to mind right now, whether it's the sun, the moon, a star, a planet, or something else entirely. Trust where your imagination has landed and see yourself flying there. And when you get there, you see that there is a place for you to sit that is unique to you in this moment. And there is a gift waiting for you here. What is it? What do you see? Imagine yourself placing that gift in your heart, feeling the energy of receiving it, and then take your seat. Letting yourself soak in the awareness that entering this next chapter can be just as easy and miraculous, just as playful and free, natural, gentle, easy, and delightful. Take a big, deep breath in, letting these feelings build as you hold your breath at the top. And when you're ready, let them go with a powerful sigh. And as your breath returns to its regular pace, you sense yourself returning to where you are in this time and space. Connected to that feeling of having just crossed over into a new threshold for your greatest good in accordance with the greatest good of all. Say thank you to yourself for this. Carrying this feeling and awareness with you as you very slowly take your time, letting your body move slowly and gently as it feels called, and opening your eyes only when you're ready. Amazing job today.
Okay. What up, everybody? What up? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. It is 2025, and we are bringing in different we are bringing it in different than we ever have before. So shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to everybody that did the meditation. So today is actually day one. We're not going to waste any more time. We're starting our 60-day cleanse today. So today is the day. Right now, in this moment, it's time. It's time to commit. Okay, January 1st to March 2nd, 2025. Okay, so if you guys have your books, pull your books out. And we're just going to go over the first page, okay? Good things never come from comfort zones. So the point of this cleanse is to get out of our comfort zone. Get out of our comfort zone, make us uncomfortable so that we can manifest greater things into our lives. I've done it multiple times. I've talked about it on my YouTube channel. I've been able to manifest my YouTube career. I've been able to manifest money, job opportunities, cars, a lot of things, and I'm still actively trying to manifest more each and every day. I did this 60-day cleanse and was able to manifest some of the biggest things and opportunities in my life, from talk shows, television shows, brand new whips, so opportunities, photos with Kanye West, just all kind of crazy stuff that has happened to me through my YouTube career and YouTube journey during, me practicing manifestation and, getting outside of my comfort zone. So a lot of people would ask me when I go on these cleanses, how they can do it. And so that's why I came up with the book, so that we could do it together. And so that is what we are going to be doing now. Okay. So before we get started, obviously you need your book. You can write in the book. There is places for you to write in the book. If you look at day one here, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's places to write. And then in the back, as we go on, there's also scripting in the back. I don't know if you can really see it, but the back pages are all for scripting and writing too. So you can write in the book, it's yours, or you can have a notebook on the side and you can write here. Okay. I have some other books that, I will suggest if you guys want to read about manifestation. Asking It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And then 48 Laws of Power. Everybody knows this one by Robert Greene. And then The Secret. Oh my gosh, I gotta go get my secret book. Well, I'll grab that at the end. And then we also have some affirmation cards, the secret affirmation cards, which I love. That's a really great manifestation book, and I recommend the affirmation cards over there. Actually, I really want to get those cards, but maybe I'll get them for the next round. Cool. So let's start here. Welcome to a transformative journey of sacrifice, clarity. We're on page 1. And manifestation. This cleanse is designed to help you release the things that fill up space in your life but no longer serve you. By letting go of daily vices, those habits we lean on to distract our comfort or comfort ourselves, you're creating space for your true desires to emerge. This journey requires courage, but each day brings you closer to the life you envision. Get ready to rediscover your strength, embrace change, and unlock the power of manifestation. Your future self awaits. Are you guys excited? You guys should be really, really excited, because I'm excited. I'm really excited, just kind of getting into it. The fact that you're here, that we're here, I'm doing it. So you guys, now I'm doing it with you all. This is going to be super, super dope. I'm really excited. Okay. So before we get started, we got to get into, so we're on week 1, day 1. So we have to choose our vice and set your intention. Now, you can choose multiple. Okay, so it says select one habit or activity that you feel holds you back from your true potential. This could be something small like excess social media scrolling, or more impactful like overeating or smoking. Keep it simple and focused for the best results. Okay, I'm a little bit more advanced, so I'm going to do more. But for those people that are saying like this is really, really hard, if it's new for you, just pick one thing. If you want to go, if you think you can do more, pick two. Okay, or pick three. I'm probably gonna pick a few. I'll tell you what I'm gonna pick. Um, Hold on. Let me go to the week one, day one. What do you usually turn to, and why do you think it's holding you back? Identify your vice. Mine is easy: drinking, smoking, vapes, candy. So that's what I will write down here. Ugh. And why do I think it's And why do you think that it's holding you back? Drinking holds me back because I'm hungover. Smoking for me just fills time. So you really want to write what it is, like what your things and why. Like, so really answer the question. And you don't have to share it or tell anybody, but I'm just kind of going through it. The candy, for me, candy. Um, all right. So I did mine. Has everybody done theirs? So right now we're on day one, week one, identifying our vice. So we're right now, we're writing it down, we're filling it out. And you can get as detailed as possible. You can do bullet points. This is for you. So um this is not where you're writing in the chat. You should be filling this out. Like, so don't just watch me do it. You know what I mean? So this is one of those lives where it's like I'm doing it, but this is like this is not a show. So you gotta just I'm doing it with you. So fill yours out because I'm filling it out too. All right. The next part is um set your intention. What is your primary goal for this cleanse? What do you hope to manifest by the end of this journey? This is important. Really think about this. What do you want? Do you want a new car? Do you want a better relationship with your family? Do you want a boyfriend, a girlfriend? Do you want whatever it is that you want? But understand, depending on what you want, it's got to make sense with what you're sacrificing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're just like, oh well, I'm kind of want to stop eating, you know, drinking coffee, but you drink coffee every other day, or like maybe twice a week, and just like, I kind of drink coffee a little bit, but I want to manifest a husband. Well, girl, you gonna have to. That's not enough. Because if you ain't never had no man, you ain't got no man, and you trying to really bring a husband into your life, you gonna have to give up some real distractions. So you got to really think. You know what I mean? You can't give up a little and try to get a lot. So whatever you're trying to sacrifice, whatever you're sacrificing has to add up to what you're trying to manifest. Or whatever you're trying to manifest has to add up to what you're trying to sacrifice. So you can't cheat the system here and try to get a little on the other end. It's got to equal up. You can manifest more than one goal. You can manifest more than one goal. I do all the time. But it's better to me if you make it more intentional. So for this, I would be very intentional if this is your first time. So it would be like, I want a new job. I want a new car. Like, let's make it very direct. We want to focus our intention on one thing. I want to build my YouTube channel. And other things will unlock through the process. But I would say, for the purpose of this, and this is a lot of people's first time, just do one thing. You can give up multiple things, but focus your intention on one thing. Focus your intention on one thing. Somebody said vapes don't hold me back. Does that count? No, well then you wouldn't put vapes down. Vapes, no. Then that wouldn't be a problem for you. So then no, you wouldn't do that. All right, let me write mine down. Hint, it says, what is your primary goal? So your main focus. I'm not going to share this with you guys, but I'll share it at the end. add some more. I'm gonna put some music on in the background because I really want to think about this some more though. Hold on. We're gonna vibe too. Because this channel is not all the way monetized yet, so we can actually do that. This is the kind of music I listen to though when I do this. It might sound a little weird, but I like African tribal music. I really like African tribal music. Um, is anybody else done? I'm still thinking on mine because I'm still trying to really focus in on it. Does anybody want to share theirs? You don't have to. Oh, they said you can't hear the music? Or you can't hear it? I turned it down a little bit. Oh, let's see. Is it too loud? So this is African tribal music. It's like healing drums. I love African tribal healing drums. It is on, let me show you. I love this kind of like music. I have it on Spotify here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me show you. I'm trying to share my screen real quick. Okay. Somebody say YouTube is their vice. Well, you can watch this, but then you can't. You got to get off. You can come for the updates here, but when we get into the other stuff, you can't be doing it. All right, I'm gonna go back to writing. And then we'll close out. Then if anybody else wants to stay, because that's day one, and we'll be back tomorrow. But if anybody else wants to stay, I'm probably gonna script some more, and then I might read a chapter, or I may play a chapter from the audiobook of Esther and Jerry Hicks, if anybody wants to stay, because I think I'll stay a little bit longer. So either I may journal, or I may play a chapter of this. I may start this over again, because this is a really good one. But if you guys are done, day one is done. I'm still going to write. I'll still be here if anybody has any other questions. If you're done, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. And there we have it. Day one, you're done. Put your book up, and good luck. Okay? I think she said, so for me, I just said my primary goal for the journey is to blank, blank, blank. So what is your intention? So, and then I said, I want. I want. So I did, I want. I naturally felt like I want. So I just said I want to do it. So I probably would go with I want. Pisces Psyche said, I crushed day one, but it's only day one. You did good though. Hey, day one is you know how many people didn't wake up to start day one? Not because they died, but because they were too hungover and they said they're going to start on day 2, day 3, or next week. So you started. Is there a special way to write my book? No. So if you don't have your book, use one of these and write it and then fill it in. Just follow along with us and go back and fill it into your book. Also, don't jump ahead. It can be tempting to jump ahead, but that's part of it. You don't want to burn yourself out. This is the long game, right? So we set our attention. We did our day one. Go on with your life. You already got enough stuff that you got going on, because you now are not falling victim to your vices. This is why the books, the affirmations, and all of that stuff I'm putting into play. Because if you're addicted to YouTube, well, pick up one of these books. You know? It's going to be challenging, but now we start growing little by little. Yeah, I think let's do every day right now at 11:30 noon. Let's play that by ear right now. I'll let you guys know if there might be a different time. But right now, that's cool. So, all right. But yeah, if you guys are done, you guys have things to do, you guys can totally dip. Day one is done. I'm going to keep writing a little bit though. Day one, done. Okay, so I'm going to do a chapter of the Esther Hicks if you guys want to stay. If not, um, we're gonna do it till for about 20 minutes, almost to an hour when we're on here an hour. So let me go to that. It's a good one.
This is Audible.
Ask and it is given. Learning to manifest your desires. Written by Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks. Narrated by Carl H. Martins. Words of praise for the teachings of Abraham and Ask and it is given. This is, plain and simple, one of the most powerful books I've ever read. One's entire life can change because of what is found here, and all given with such love. This book is a life treasure. Neale Donald Walsch, the author of Conversations with God. I've been a huge fan of the teachings of Abraham for 10 years. They've helped me and my family tremendously. Christine Northrup, M.D., the author of Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. One of the most valuable things about Ask and It Is Given is that Abraham gives us 22 different powerful processes to achieve our goals. No matter where we are, there's a process that can make our lives better. I love this book, and I love Esther and Jerry Hicks. Louise L. Hay, the author of You Can Heal Your Life. This is a great book. My wife and I have enjoyed these profound and extremely practical Abraham teachings for several years. We trust that you will benefit as well. We recommend it to all our friends. John Gray, Ph.D., the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Hold on. So yes, I am going to work on Discord today. Discord will just be, it'll be this kind of content, manifestation content, and that'll just be a place we can chat. We can talk about the cleanse, how we're feeling as it goes on. They're saying that it's locked up, so I got to figure out how to do it. I really don't know how to do Discord, so I'm learning. So you got to bear with me with that. But I'm going to try to get to that today. I have a lot to do. But for now, we're going to get through this chapter.
Own destiny. My first thought is that if you're not yet ready to read and apply this great wisdom, then I urge you to simply carry this book with you for a few weeks. Allow the energy that it contains to permeate through any resistance that your mind-body might offer, and let it resonate with that inner place that is formless and boundaryless. This is what is often called your soul, but Abraham would call it your vibrational connection to your source.
But pay attention to the book.
This is a universe of vibration. As Einstein once observed, nothing happens until something moves. That is, everything vibrates to a particular
I'm still here.
frequency.
I'm just about to lay back.
Break the solid world down to smaller and tinier components, and you see that what appears to be solid is a dance of particles and empty spaces. Go to the tiniest of these quantum particles, and you discover that it emanated from a source that vibrates so fast that it defies the world of beginnings and endings. This highest, fastest energy is called source energy. You and everyone and everything originated in this vibration and then moved into the world of things, bodies, minds, and egos. It was in the leaving of this source energy in our bodies, minds, that we took on our entire world of problems, illnesses, scarcities, and fears. The teachings of Abraham essentially are focused on helping you to return in all respects to that source from which all things originate and return to as well. This source energy has a look and feel to it that I've touched upon in my book, The Power of Intention. Abraham, however, can offer this enlightening wisdom to you by having the benefit of being 100% connected to that source and never ever doubting that connection. It's evident in every paragraph of this book. That's why I call this a publishing milestone. You're in direct, conscious contact with a cadre of honest, no-nonsense beings who have only your well-being in mind. They'll remind you that you came from source of well-being and that you can either summon higher vibrational energy to yourself and allow it to flow unimpeded in every aspect of your life, or you can resist it, and by doing so stay disconnected from which is all-providing and all-loving. The message here is quite startling and yet oh so simple. You came from a source of love and well-being. When you're matched up to that energy of peace and love, you then regain the power of your source, that being the power to manifest your desires, to summon well-being, to attract abundance where scarcity previously resided, and to access divine guidance in the form of the right people and the precisely correct circumstances. This is what your source does, and since you emanated from that source, you can and will do the same. I've spent a full day with Abraham in person. I've dined with Esther and Jerry, and I've listened to hundreds of Abraham's recordings, so you can take it from me firsthand. You're about to embark on a life-changing journey, offered to you by two of the most authentic and spiritually pure people I've ever encountered. Jerry and Esther Hicks are as much in awe of their role in bringing these teachings to you as I am in writing this foreword for Abraham. I encourage you to read these words carefully and apply them instantly. They summarize an observation I've offered for many years now. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You're about to see and experience a whole new world of changing right before your eyes. This is the world created by a source energy that wants you to reconnect to it and live a life of joyful well-being. Thank you, Abraham, for allowing me to say a few words in this precious, precious book. I love you, all of you.
Hold on, I'm about to
Wayne.
rewind that real quick because I need to get that back. Damn, it's gone. It's cool.
Preface by Jerry Hicks. Sunlight is beginning to spill across the Malibu coastline as I begin this preface, and the deep indigo tint of the Pacific Ocean at this time of morning seems to match the depth of pleasure I'm feeling as I'm imagining the value you are about to receive from the revelations within this book. Ask and It Is Given is certainly a book about our asking, being answered by all that is, but it's primarily about how whatever we're asking for is being given to us, and it's also the first book to ever, in such clear terminology, give us the simple, practical formula for how to ask for, and then how to receive whatever we want to be, do, or have. Decades ago, while searching for plausible answers to my never-ending quest to know what it is all about, I discovered the word ineffable, meaning incapable of being expressed in words. Ineffable coincided with a conclusion I'd formed relative to it. I had decided that the closer we get to knowing the non-physical, the fewer words we have for clearly expressing it, and so any state of complete knowing would also therefore be in a state of ineffability. In other words, at this point in our time-space reality, the non-physical cannot be clearly expressed with physical words. Throughout physical history, we've evolved to, through, and into billions of philosophies, religions, opinions, and beliefs. Yet, with the billions upon billions of thinkers thinking, concluding, and passing their beliefs on to the next generations, we have not, at least not in any words we can agree on, found physical words to express the non-physical. Recorded history has retained some form of documentation of but a few of the many beings who have consciously communicated with non-physical intelligence. Some were revered, while some were damned by others. Most, however, who have been conscious of personal communication with the non-physical, perhaps in fear of being damned or even institutionalized, have decided to go and tell no one about their revelations. Moses, Jesus, Mohammed, Joan of Arc, Joseph Smith, to name but a few of those better known to the English-speaking world, were each outspoken recipients of non-physical intelligence, most of whom met with quite untimely and horrible physical ends. And so, although each of us is directly receiving some form of non-physical guidance, only a few receive blocks of non-physical thought that are clear enough to be translated into our physical words, and of those few, fewer still are willing to disclose their experience to others. I remind you of this information as a preface to what you're about to read, for my wife, Esther, is one of those rare persons who can, at will, relax her conscious mind enough to allow the reception of non-physical answers to whatever is asked. Somehow Esther receives blocks of thought, not words, and just as a Spanish-English translator would hear a thought projected in Spanish words and then translate the thought, not the actual words, into English words, Esther instantly translates the non-physical thought into its closest physical English word equivalent. Please note that since there aren't always physical English words to perfectly express the non-physical thought that Esther receives, she sometimes forms new combinations of words, as well as using standard words in new ways. For example, capitalizing them when normally they would not be, in order to express new ways of looking at life. And for that reason we've created a brief glossary at the back of this book in order to clarify our uncommon usage of some common words. In other words, there is the common term well-being, meaning the state of being happy, healthy, or prosperous. But the basis of Abraham's uncommon philosophy is translated into English as well-being. It's about the broader, universal, non-physical well-being that flows naturally to all of us unless we do something to pinch it off. Also, within the text, we will initially put in quotation marks any coined words that you don't find in any dictionary, but whose meanings are obvious, such as overwhelmment or endedness. Since 1986, Esther and I have traveled to about 50 cities a year, presenting workshops, and any of the attendees can discuss or pose questions on whatever subject they want to talk about. No subjects are off limits. People have come by the thousands, from different ethnic groups, from different walks of life, from different philosophical backgrounds, all wanting to improve life in some way, either directly for themselves or indirectly by assisting others. And to those thousands who have asked for more, the answers have been given through Esther Hicks from Non-Physical Intelligence. And so, in response to the asking by those like you who want to know more, this philosophy of well-being has evolved into the creation of this book. At the heart of these teachings is the most powerful law of the universe, the law of attraction. Over the past decade, we've published much of Abraham's teachings in our quarterly journal, The Science of Deliberate Creation, which has highlighted the newest perspectives gleaned from questions posed by the attendees of our Art of Allowing workshops. As such, this philosophy is continually evolving as more of you bring to our attention your newest questions and perspectives. This book offers you a hands-on course in spiritual practicality. It's a how-to book in the broadest sense of the term, that is, how to be, do, or have anything that pleases you. This book also teaches you how not to be, do, or have anything that displeases you. Cherry. An Introduction to Abraham by Esther Hicks. "She speaks with spirits," our friend said. "She'll be here next week, and you can make an appointment with her and ask her anything you like." That's about the last thing on this earth that I would ever want to do, I thought. But at the same time I heard Jerry, my husband, saying, "We really would like to make an appointment. How do we go about doing that?" That was in 1984, and in the 4 years that we'd been married, we'd never had an argument or even exchanged cross words. We were two joyous people living happily ever after with each other, and compatible on nearly every subject that came up. The only discomfort that I ever felt was when Jerry would entertain friends with one of his stories from 20 years earlier, relating his experience with the Ouija board. If we were at a restaurant or some other public place where I sensed one of those stories coming on, I would politely, or sometimes not so politely, excuse myself and retreat to the ladies' room, sit in the bar, or take a walk to the car until I believed that sufficient time had passed and the account would be over. Happily, Jerry eventually stopped telling those stories when I was around. I wasn't what you'd call a religious girl, but I attended enough Sunday school classes to develop a very strong fear of evil and the devil. Thinking back, I'm not really sure if our Sunday school teachers had actually devoted a greater proportion of our classes to teaching us to fear the devil, or if that's simply what stood out in my mind. But that is, for the most part, what I remember from those years. So, as I'd been taught, I carefully avoided anything that could possibly have any connection to the devil. One time, when I was a young woman, I was sitting in a drive-in theater and happened to look out the back window of the car at the other movie screen and saw a horrible scene from The Exorcist, a movie that I'd purposely avoided seeing. And what I saw, without hearing the sound, affected me so strongly that I had nightmares for weeks. "Her name is Sheila," our friend told Jerry. "I'll make the appointment for you and let you know." Jerry spent the next few days writing down his questions. He said he had some that he'd saved up since he was a small child. I didn't make a list. Instead, I struggled with the idea of going at all. As we pulled into the driveway of a beautiful house in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona, I remember thinking, what am I getting myself into? We walked up to the front door, and a very nice woman greeted us and showed us into a lovely living room where we could wait for our scheduled appointment. The house was large, simply but beautifully furnished, and very quiet. I remember feeling sort of a reverence, like being in a church. Then a door opened, and two pretty women dressed in fresh, brightly colored cotton blouses and skirts entered the room. Apparently we were the first appointment after lunch. Both women looked happy and refreshed. I felt myself relax a little bit. Perhaps this wasn't going to be so weird after all. Soon we were invited into a lovely bedroom where 3 chairs were situated near the foot of the bed. Sheila was sitting on the edge of the bed, and her assistant sat in one of the chairs with a small tape recorder on the table beside her. Jerry and I sat in the other 2 chairs, and I braced myself for whatever was about to happen. The assistant explained that Sheila was going to relax and release her consciousness, and then Theo, a non-physical entity, would address us. When that happened, we'd be free to talk about anything we desired. Sheila lay across the end of the bed, only a few feet from where we were seated, and breathed deeply. Soon an unusual-sounding voice abruptly said, "It is the beginning, is it not? You have questions?" I looked at Jerry, hoping that he was ready to start, because I knew that I was not ready to talk with whoever was now speaking to us. Jerry leaned forward as he was eager to ask his first question. I relaxed as Theo's words slowly came out of Sheila's mouth, and while I knew that it was Sheila's voice we were hearing, I somehow also knew that something far different from Sheila was the source of these marvelous answers. Jerry said he'd been saving his questions up since he was 5 years old, and he asked them as rapidly as he could. Our 30 minutes passed so quickly, but during that time, somehow, without my speaking a word, my fear of this strange experience lifted, and I was filled with a feeling of well-being that surpassed anything that I'd ever felt before. Once back inside our car, I told Jerry, "I'd really like to come back tomorrow. There are some things I would like to ask." Jerry was delighted to make another appointment, because he had more questions on his list as well. About halfway through our allotted time on the following day, Jerry reluctantly relinquished the remaining minutes to me, and I asked Theo, "How can we more effectively achieve our goals?" The answer came back, "Meditation and affirmations." The idea of meditation didn't appeal to me at all, and I wasn't aware of anyone who practiced it. In fact, when I thought of the word, it brought to mind people lying on beds of nails, walking on hot coals, standing on one foot for years, or begging for donations at the airport. So I asked, "What do you mean by meditation?" The answer was short, and the words felt good as I heard them. "Sit in a quiet room, wear comfortable clothing, and focus on your breathing. As your mind wanders, and it will, Release the thought and focus upon your breathing. It would be good for you to do it together. It will be more powerful." "Could you give us an affirmation that would be of value for us to use?" we asked. "I," say your name, "see and draw to me, through divine love, those beings who seek enlightenment through my process. The sharing will elevate us both now." As the words flowed from Sheila, Theo, I felt them penetrate to the core of my being. A feeling of love flowed to me and through me like nothing I'd ever felt before. My fear was gone. Jerry and I both felt wonderful. "Should we bring my daughter, Tracy, to meet you?" I asked. "If it is her asking, but it is not necessary, for you two, Jerry and Esther, are channels." That statement made no sense to me at all. I couldn't believe that I could be this old, in my 30s, and not already know something like that, if it were true. The tape recorder clicked off, and we both felt mild disappointment that our extraordinary experience was finished. Sheila's assistant asked if we had one last question. "Would you like to know the name of your spiritual guide?" she asked. I would never have asked that, for I had never heard the term spiritual guide, but it sounded like a good question. I liked the idea of guardian angels. So I said, "Yes, please, could you tell me the name of my spiritual guide?" Theo said, "We are told it will be given to you directly. You will have a clairaudient experience, and you will know." What is a clairaudient experience? I wondered. But before I could ask my question, Theo said with a tone of finality, "God's love unto you." And Sheila opened her eyes and sat up. Our extraordinary conversation with Theo had ended. After Jerry and I left the house, we drove to a lookout point on the side of one of the Phoenix Mountains and leaned against the car, staring off into the distance, watching the sunset. We had no idea of the transformation that had taken place within us that day. We only knew that we felt wonderful. When we returned home, I had two powerful new intentions. I was going to meditate, whatever in the world that meant, and I was going to find out the name of my spiritual guide. So we changed into our robes, closed the curtains in the living room, and sat in two large wing-back chairs with an étagère between us. We'd been encouraged to do this together, but it felt odd, and the étagère helped to mask the strangeness for some reason.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stop it right there. If you guys want this, I will share this link, and I'll put it in the chat here. But then too,
I remembered Theo's.
I'll once I figure out the Discord, I'll put it in the Discord too, so you guys can listen to the audiobook. Um, so y'all can have that. Um, so there's that. I went and got the affirmation decks. Here's our affirmation for today. For today, I create a new goal. We definitely did that. And then our manifestation from the secret affirmation. Positivity and kindness are all you need. The path to your best life is actually so very easy. Positive thoughts, positive words, and acts of kindness. That's it. So remember, positivity gets you to the goal, and it's going to get us through this 60 days. Okay? Unique says I have their card deck. Perfect. So pull a card. Pull a card. I'm gonna continue working and doing my thing today. But we had a good day one. I'm gonna let y'all go. I will see y'all tomorrow. And we're gonna go through the cleanse together. How did y'all feel? Successful day. You're good? This was really helpful. I just finished writing out my intention and my advices. This really helped me Dig deep into the root of my vices. I'm excited. Yes. Okay, don't forget the links. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or I'll see you guys on the other channel too. All right, same time tomorrow, 11:30, 12 o'clock Pacific. All right, see y'all. Bye.